Alright, welcome back to Black Lodge Trivia Night's Let's Play series here. I'm doing Demon Souls. And in the first one, we got through character creation. I probably talked too much, as I always do. And then we basically cleared 1-1. And then I sort of dabbled a little bit in 4-1, trying to think of... last time we sort of came in the middle of this. I sort of like this opening setup. I know you can look up on YouTube, and I skipped it last time, but I want to go and let this part play. I don't know what the general consensus is on the music of this, but I really like this. This is where we, just those opening shots I really liked. Anyway, so yeah, we did 1-1. I dabbled in 4-1, and I think I want to go back to 4-1, and there's a couple of reasons why. Am I still there? Good. What I want to try and do is, A, see if I can get the sword. It's the sort of crescent falchion. Sorry, I'm moving my keyboard away. It's called a crescent falchion. And... is this guy always right here? These guys are really easy to backstab. So I'm wondering if, I stop dabbling with magic so much and I'm patient. I might be able to. The other thing is, these guys are a good way to farm souls, and if I can't get the crescent falchion, whoops, I'm hoping you get 300 per. Well, maybe I won't farm enough souls. I think the merchant that we stumbled across in 1-1 updates his inventory. I'm not getting the backstab, so I don't know if I'm... never really used this weapon much before, so I'm not sure exactly... I feel like I could parry these guys if I were better at it. Okay, there we go. I think the merchant has... if I can't get this falchion, the merchant has a claymore. I'm starting to run low on crescent moongrass. I gotta be careful. And the claymore is a great, weapon that you can use, for the whole game. You start maxing it out, you start getting, oops, lock onto him. That was bad. Again, these slow attacks. Something I'm running into in Elden Ring a lot. When it's got a long wind-up, I'm really bad. Just want to backstab, though. Again, these guys are not tough if you... I'm not sure where the door is. There we go. See if I got time for this. So I feel like either one of two things happens. Either I get the crescent falchion, or I die so many times. So that's the thing. I don't want to do so much farming that it gets boring, but I'm hoping... Nope, that's not what I was trying to do. Let's see if we can instant win button this. I thought that was going to go poorly. Yeah, so that's the debate. Do I farm so much that I, somebody coming? That I can get 6,000 souls? That might take forever. Nope. Oop, what am I doing? Oh, I didn't collect my souls. Okay. I think I'm hitting the buttons for Elden Ring instead of... Okay. And I think the falchion is right there. Past that guy with these crazy red eyes. So now, are there any more? Gotta watch those guys, but I'm hoping I can sort of break for it a little bit. So I don't know if too many people know the role-playing game Shadow the Demon Lord, but that very much looks like where it got its information for its cover art. So now right here, you got to watch out. There's a trap. Now I could keep going, but I don't really feel like risking that. The question is, can I get that item and get out of here? Now, the interesting thing is this guy is actually super deadly, but he's super slow. So that's what I'm counting on a little bit. If I can die here, then it's an easy corpse run. That's no problem. I'll take that. But if I can get back to the thing, even better. There we go. Now, oh, I just came right back. Let's take a look. So the bastard sword we picked up. Still not sure how to tell its stats. There's these symbols here, and one of them... So like the first one's an axe, which probably means just like maybe it's like a slash weapon. Mail breaker is like a poke weapon. I'm not using the right words, but it's sort of telling you the type of attack it is. The 95 is probably... It's damage 60. I have no idea. 220 is probably how much, durability it has. I know I'm not strong enough, but I'm trying to find... Okay, let's see if this tells us more. I think this is what we're looking for. Okay, physical damage 60, fire... Okay, reduction. Okay, so if you're using it to guard, that's what the 60 is. Physical attack. So then it's like attribute bonus. So like it needs a strength of 18. Those symbols used to be a lot more unclear in the original game. They sort of straightened that out a little bit. My strength is probably not anywhere near 13. Okay, it's not that far off. Let's see about this... this falchion. The crescent falchion. Looks like I can do it. I was using, I think, the rapier, so this might be... Well, I was about to say it's a little less, but it does magic damage. So it's 75, 67, but this has got the 82 magic. Scales with... It looks like it's got an A scaling for, I guess... for my magic stat, which is one of my higher ones at the moment, so... Let's take a look and see what it can do to this guy. That's a lot better. Yeah, that's better, right? All right, so we've sort of done what we wanted to do here. Let's touch the Archstone. Let's head back to the Nexus. So here's the deal. I think we need 6,000 souls for the... We need 6,000 souls for... the Claymore, I believe. So let me see what else. So I wanted to do a test. So I said in new Souls games, when you say, you know, the down D-pad chooses, you know, what's in my hotbar. So in other Souls games recently, if you hold down, it goes to the first one. Okay, it does. Cool. That's good to know. So put the thing you need the most in that first slot. I think that started in Demon Souls, in Dark Souls 3. And then was in, I think, Bloodborne and now Elden Ring and now this. They brought it over. So, okay.
Oh, good day to you. I can forge weapons for you for a fair price.
Gonna repair equipment. So for 6,000 souls,
You come back alive.
we get the Claymore.
Your business.
The Claymore, what do I got? I got 4,500, so I need to kill 5 skeletons. I would need to kill 6 skeletons. Let me level up.
Thou seekest the power of the soul, no? Then touch the demon inside me.
And I'll figure out the Claymore later. At least I got a better sword now. I'm going to put a couple points into strength. I'm almost there.
Let strength be granted so the world might be many.
Okay.
Art thou finished?
So I don't have a ton of souls left. I'm in phantom form. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going back to the beginning. And I'm doing that because I want to see if I can get those, that special shield from underneath the dragon. So what I got to do is I got to, I think, cut this way, go left. I wonder how these things do to magic. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. So I think I want to go this way. Well, no, because then I'm going to be coming up behind. I don't know if you remember in the last session, there was like that huge crowd of guys that I barely survived. What I'm trying to do is I want the dragon to kill them so that I can try and run. And I think what I did wrong is I thought the dragon... I thought the dragon attacked when you got to the far side. I think it attacks on the near side and lets you cook them all. Again, it's a stupid thing, but this is one of the first games I played where a weapon bounced off a wall. So this falchion's good. Let's see what it's... But it's tricky because all of its attacks are sort of sweeping attacks. What's great about the Claymore is even though it's a big weapon with a big swing, it's sort of power attack. It's R2 instead. R1 is this. R2 is a more powerful... The Claymore's R2 is actually... That's not bad. Is actually a thrust. So in the tight hallways and stuff, it can really make a difference. this is the ambush. Again, apologies for looking off to the side. I think I mentioned my PlayStation screen is a little off center. I was trying to see if I could do it a little differently, but then I was having some technical issues with the... Basically, I was just going to try and watch it through the recording software, not the actual screen. And it started to work, and then it sort of was locking up on the title screen, but maybe that was the actual game. It wouldn't have... If you're going to take that shot, you got to make it, man. Otherwise, you get a bad 80s movie action death. Alright, so we're coming up again to the boulders, which I screwed up last time. See if I can do it from the side. Now, it's actually, this is stupid. This is going to be kind of a suicide run, so I'm not, the fact that I have this many souls is not great. Basically, let me just make sure the pathway here is clear, because when I get here, I'm going to need to sprint and then hope for the best. And I'm probably going to eat these souls. So again, I'm trying to get those collectibles. I don't know which one it is, and I think I can draw off the red dragon. So, let's see if I can do it. Not doing a good job getting that dragon to come. Yeah, I could have swore he... Huh, alright. Well, how does that work then? I thought... there was a way to draw him out. Alright, well, given that, let's see what happens. Again, I'm going in... I'm gonna literally kill myself, but I'm not gonna kill myself trying this. Okay, I didn't get there. That's not what I need. That's what I need. Okay, since we're killing ourselves anyway. That's good. Oh, that's worth it. Nice. Okay, so first things first, to try and get out of here alive, let's do that. Now let's see what we need for that resistance shield. Yeah, I know that. It's a strength of 22. Okay, so that's a goal. We need to get that up. In the meantime, at least now we know we've got a flame resistance ring to hopefully help us get out of here in one piece. Okay, and here we go. Alright, so we need a strength of 22. That's what we're working for. Now we have enough souls for one level. I think we got our strength up close to the 18 we need for the claymore. I guess we could try and lure that knight again that I tried to one time and just fell off the stairs and realized I was trying to do it when I actually couldn't even level up, so I was just risking souls. But now that in theory, it's not hard to do. It's just I'm terrible, so... Shadow of the Demon Lord, you know, since this is an RPG, it's really interesting. You know, I mentioned that when we saw the creature in 4.1 when I was getting the falchion. It's a really interesting take on D&D. If you don't know anything about the game, it's by one of the designers of 5th edition. And when he was sort of done doing his work on 5th edition, he's like, you know, I'm going to set out to make sort of, I like the ideas behind 5th edition, but I want to sort of take them in the direction I would have taken them in if it were up to me. And so what you get is you get a really sort of streamlined... Yeah, you can see he's a tough guy. Get a really I mean, you can take them, like you can get backstabs, and if you can hang in there long enough, you can whittle them down. Or, assuming I don't just fall to my death, you can try this. But Shadows of the Demon Lord, it's a really interesting game. You know, I haven't run it yet. My intention is to run it at some point. And, you know, the rules are pretty streamlined. It's got some interesting character classes, you know, maybe not entirely my cup of tea, but there's a lot there. It's, you know, it's got good virtual tabletop support, so that's good. And the thing that some people complain about, okay, he's getting close. So what I want to do is I want to run, is it right here? And hope that he attacks me, but he didn't do it. Or is it, crap, was it down here? There's a way to get him to attack across the gap and he falls. There we go. But he didn't die? Okay. So that's why I thought you had to do it from up here. Maybe I can get him to come a little too hard across this gap. Maybe I wasn't. Anyway, so what they're doing, so the trick with it is a lot of people sort of think the setting goes a little too overboard. It's sort of like fantasy horror, but it's, trying to be like sort of heavy metal kind of horror, if that makes any sense. And some people are like, and even the designer's kind of like, yeah, maybe I went too far on that. But he's coming out with a new system, which is sort of like Shadows of the Demon Lord 2.0. And for the setting, it sort of goes for more traditional fantasy, if that's your speed. It's called Weird Wizard. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing what that's like. I don't mind the Shadows of the Demon Lord stuff. Like, I always feel like if something's not to your taste, just change it, or wing it or homebrew it. As I start to run stuff, I at the moment, I tend to have a lot of homebrew stuff going. So, I think the first thing I'm going to officially run once we, sort of get out of our one-shots is, a John le Carré spy thing that I sort of homebrewed from, again, my bookshelves are over here, from Mithras. And that should be interesting. Mithras is an interesting system that I'm looking forward to seeing what it can do in this setting. It's definitely not meant to do like a John le Carré spy setting, but I was thinking about doing Delta Green, and it's so stupid, but if the Delta Green VTT module, the virtual tabletop module for Foundry, was a little more flexible, I probably would have went there. But it's stupid.
The candles lit and serve the brave demon slayers who are trapped here.
It's really stupid because my objection is that I don't want. I wanted to remove all of the sort of Cthulhu kind of skills.
Soul of the lost withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so
And the Delta
world
Green
might be
VTT
mended.
module doesn't let you do that.
So the world might be mended.
All right, so now we need 4 more for the shield.
Art thou finished?
And yeah, and the Mithras one, the Foundry VTT module lets you name the skills whatever you want. And it's, and it's got some interesting things. It's got like passions, which I like the idea of. And I sort of try to think of a way to incorporate that. And Mithras has sort of a sanity system, but I really like Delta Green's sanity system where even though it's sort of in a modern, I'm wondering if I've got, in a modern setting, it can, I should start dropping some of this stuff. It has sort of like a Cold War hard-boiled kind of vibe to its sanity system. What I'm trying to see is if I have like some soul, like, I forget what they're called here. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Okay, that's going to be some levels. So I don't want to use the lead demon soul because there's a way, like a lot of these games, where you can take the boss souls and turn them into equipment or other things. I mean, you can just cash them in for souls if you know you don't want it. But I don't remember what
Thou
they give
seekest
you.
the power of the soul, no? Then touch the demon inside me.
It's a little filthy, but I think...
Soul of the mind, key to life's
Okay,
ether.
one more getting there.
Soul of the lost, withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted, so the world art thou finished.
All right, so now we have a choice to make. Where do we go next? We've got 1-1 down, so we could do 2-1. We've got... We could start a new level. We got 4-1, but that proved to be a little tricky, although now with the falchion we can do a little more damage. But let's stick with the castle a little bit longer and see how it goes. All right. This might be a mistake. My intention... So part of the reason why I wanted that flame shield is because it helps out, at least I believe so, with a boss that's early on in one of the earlier... I think it helps with 2-1. So, again, you want to get behind these guys if you can. It seems like this is doing pretty decent damage. Now, these things are pretty good for farming a crafting material. So I said in the last one, the crafting in this is a little irritating. Heartstone shards, it has one advantage in that I feel like a Heartstone shard is a Heartstone shard, unlike other ones where you need tiers of them or, you know, things like that. But certain weapons or need certain kinds. So like a scimitar, you don't want to do with hardstone. You need to do with sharpstone. But if you want to do a claymore, you might need hardstone. But if you want to do a claymore with like a balanced strength dexterity, then it's actually clearstone or something. It's just like, and it's sort of limited. So like you sort of get what you get. And so if you screw up, and this is true of Demon Souls and I would say Dark Souls, if you screw up and you don't like what you do, you sort of get stuck with it. And that's, you know, more hardcore, but it's less friendly to the player, right? Okay, so here you see our friend.
Clear out the soldiers blocking this passage, if it please you. The Lord's Path, just over there, is now a feeding ground for dragons. Have your wits about you.
Okay, so I don't believe I really need this flame resistance ring. So let's I don't really need this either at the moment. So let's go with this, and maybe we'll get more stuff. So again, that's an NPC quest. You need to guide him through area by area here in the castle. Ooh. You know how I don't need that flame resistant ring? So it is possible to kill that dragon. The way I know how to do it is extremely tedious. And I don't even know how actually useful it is in the long run, but you can do it. You know, it's probably worth a good amount of souls. Okay, I can... So the trick to killing this dragon is actually right here. Wooden catalyst. Yeah, obviously arrow is the best option. What you do is you stand here and you pop him with like 1 or 2 arrows every time he makes a flight across in front of you. And you do that for about 200 shots, and about 3 hours later, it's dead. So... not terribly interesting. I guess it makes this run a little easier, but again, it's bizarre that for me, the true power of the PlayStation 5 was made evident by a remaster of a 12-year-old game. All right, so we're going to make our way back, but this is a little tricky. There's some dogs, there's soldiers, but this is what we're trying to clear. Help that guy out. So I just find this confusing. Here there's undead. Inside the castle, in some places there's what look like living soldiers. See, you can really see like the lighting effects travel down the hall. It's pretty impressive. Anyway, so Shadows of the Demon Lord, something I hope to run at some point. I don't know if it'll be Black Lodge. I promised some guys in the Alcoholics Adventure Cabal, where I also run stuff. Go to their feed. I've got M Space, Harn. What else? A couple of games of Deus Volt. I'm not sure what else I've run.
Thank you. That's twice now. Time to forge ahead. This is a token of my gratitude.
Maybe that covers what I've run.
Please accept it.
All right. So now, again, if I can get ahead of them, hopefully I can... Nope, did it not? Because my feeling is he's going to run down the other way. And the more I can clear out, the more likely it is he advances to his next story beat, which I think it covers worlds 1-1 through 1-4. He's got some stuff going on in each one, and eventually arrives sort of at his destination and gives you the thing you're after. There's going to be dogs here, so I just got to... I've always found the dogs in Demon Souls to be a lot hard. Well, that's why, because there's 7 of them. It's going badly. But I'm glad I had the falchion instead of the Mailbreaker, because the Mailbreaker thrusting, I would have been dead. Because I could sweep attack, I was able to take out a couple at a time, and that's what kept me alive. All right, let's see where we're at. Basically, we're making our way under the bridge that the dragon strafes. So we skipped all of that. But again, I guess at some point, like, there's a lot of things you could collect, so maybe that's why it's worth killing. You can see all the items there. Let's finish going underneath, though. This guy. It's sort of weird that...
Ah, we meet again. Fancy that. Hope you find something that suits you.
So let's make sure I have that price on the claymore correct. Wonder if you take that dragon out with magic. Like, does it get 6,000? Yeah, there you go. And let's see what we need. We need a strength of 20, which we're just about at. So that's not bad. But we're not even close on.
Hard times, eh? I'm sure.
Seems like it might be worth doing, like, you know, once I get the 22 strength, you know, if I kill a boss or something and get like a influx of souls, maybe that's a good time to... Now you can sort of get an idea of where it stops. You can, they sort of give indicators like burnt corpses, flames, stuff like that. So it's not entirely a guess where it is dangerous and where it's safe. Like here's a little dangerous because I'm in the flame. So, and sorry if you see me, I don't know if you can see me move my arm. That's how I hit my mute button, because that way you don't have to listen to me cough and clear my throat. I've said this in other places. My voice goes really easily. So now I'm curious, how do you get to the other side? There's an other side of the gate where the merchant was below. Okay. All right. Can I get in anywhere here? Okay, here we go. Somebody was shooting me. That's why I was kind of curious. Oop, you want to get those. So the reason why I want to get those is because they're your only way to get certain... Oh, no, there are shards chunks. Okay, so there's a strata of... And you want to do that because they only show up at certain times. Like, it shows up the first time, and if you miss it, it's gone until you kill a boss. Again, it's something very convoluted, and those are the only way to get upgrades, so you can sort of lock yourself out of being able to upgrade certain things to a certain degree. So it's just... It's a real... It's definitely hardcore, but... It's a lot to think about, especially, like, you know, when you have no idea what you're doing on your first run. You can really... I mean, punished is a strong word, but you know what I mean. This game doesn't forgive mistakes, or... It's deliberately obtuse and then can punish you for not immediately knowing your way through that obtuse nature. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like, here's something that's confusing. Also, you're you're now punished for not understanding what was confusing. And you're like, okay. All right, so we are at our second boss, I believe. And it's a good fight. So, you know, well, that's a lot of souls. It's not the hardest fight in the world, but there's well, you know what? Who cares? I love this. I love this fight. Because again, this is the first time they've done all these things, so you got like this big fight that you got to take on the guy, but you got this whole support system of archers around the... It's such a well-designed... Oops. This stage isn't particularly hard. You just gotta, you know... The trick with these games is a little wonky, so you can take damage through the walls. So you just gotta be careful of that. Like it'll clip through. But mostly you just gotta go around the ramparts, take out everybody you can. And then it's just a one-on-one fight. You know, with mechanics that are sort of, made their way into a lot of Souls games, but this is where they originate. You gotta hit the ankles. There's a weak spot, like an Achilles, literally an Achilles heel. And you know, damage it enough times. So I think that might be it. There's ways to cheese it. And you might even be able to cheese it with magic. If you can get up... If you can get somewhere up here and lock onto them, you can take shots. But I don't remember where. Okay, so now it's just a straight one-on-one duel. Oh, I missed one. Okay. Usually the fights like this in other games don't have that added element of the archers. So I've got some damage going. Oops. Ooh, okay, got damage on both. Maybe you have to damage both and then it's gonna... Oops, didn't clear that. Is he going down? Oops, he went down on me. Yeah, and they just hit him in the head. Not doing anybody any good against this wall here. But I love the imagery of oh crap. I'm losing precious time. So I'm going to go two-handed. Miss. Oh, I got him. Okay. All right. So, here's the deal. For one thing, it's not going to let you through here. You got to, thought it would tell you what you need to do, but maybe not. But before I go on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go backwards because the way is clear, and I'm going to go get that claymore. Then I'm going to run back, which I know is a little tedious. And get that archstone. Nope. Now, okay. Whew. All right. Again, I mean, again, it looked good on the PlayStation 3. This just looks amazing. So there's got to be a way to get there, and I don't know what it is.
All right. What'll it be then?
Let's look at what he's got. Basically, we want the claymore. We've got a shield that's 100% damage reduction in that flame thing. So... Oh, you got to be kidding me. Oh, okay, so that's what I was saying in the first session where you actually got to carry what you... It's not just what you are wearing, it's everything. So, and I don't know if you can drop material. Can I drop this? Select. I don't need this now, at least. I don't need this now. I'll buy it later if I need it. Okay, let's see if... Bastard Sword I might not need either.
All right.
Claymore's the better weapon. But maybe the Bastard Sword's worth it if you can, like, convert it into... There we go.
Thanks for that.
Oh, what's this? Oh, because I dumped that. Okay. Because you can take, like, the souls of the boss and convert them into, like, super weapons if you upgrade a certain base kind of weapon to a certain level. You can sort of see where the charring ends, so... So yeah, let's hit that archstone and level up, get to hopefully 22 strength, or get close to it. And be on our way. Oh, right there.
Thou Thou seekest the power of the soul, no? Then touch the demon inside me. Soul of the mind, key to life's ether.
Okay, we are really close. So let me see if I've got some warrior souls or whatever to get me that 700 souls.
Granted, so the world might be. Art thou finished? May thy strength help the world be mended.
You know what? I'm going to burn all of them.
Thou seekest the power, then touch the demons. Soul of the mind, key to life's
Okay.
ether. Soul of the lost, withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. So the world might be mended.
Let me keep those souls for now. I've got the 22 I need for... I want to know, actually, let me see what...
Soul of the mind.
Is it endurance? What ups my equipment burden? Okay, endurance does.
Soul of the lost, withdrawn from
Strength
its
does
vessel.
not. So that's good to know.
Strength be granted so the world might be mended. So the world might be mended. Art thou finished?
Okay, so let's start storing some... Well, first let's see if we can upgrade.
I can forge weapons.
Because
for
those
you
hard
for
stones,
fair
sharp
price.
stones, those are heavy. Okay. So we're looking at Heartstone shards so far for the shield and the claymore. I'm not seeing the ability to upgrade the crescent falchion. Okay.
You come back alive. I need your business.
I would be happy to lighten your load and look after any excess baggage.
Okay. So let's deposit. Again, these are... can be a decent amount of weight. There's no way I'm wearing that. Okay.
Rest assured, your goods are safe and sound with me.
So let's see what we can do. Nope. See how bad the roll is. So bad. So let's see. See if this lets us get a fast roll going. It's not bad. Let me see what happens if I go back to the buckler. Same. See what happens if I go to the crescent falchion. Same. Okay. Let's see. The Claymore's doing 116. Crescent Falchion's doing 140, 150. So I'm going to stick with that for now, but maybe get more protection there. Nope. That's not what I meant. Let's get the Crescent Falchion and more protection there. Okay, it's not bad. Now, is that guy new to the party? Did I just not see him before? Let's see what he is.
Before the Blight, Boletaria was a grand kingdom. The king, his knights, and his subjects were modest and plain, but also steadfast and compassionate. I have spent much time in my studies in the cultured countries of the south, yet no country holds my heart as does Boletaria. But look at what has become of us now. I refuse to believe that this is what Father wished for our great land.
Oh, it's the guy from the castle that we're escorting. Okay.
Here in Boletaria, we speak of the legend of the two swords and the solitary hero. The two swords are Demonbrand and Soulbrand. One sword banishes that which befouls man, and the other banishes man himself. The solitary hero is old King Doran. King Doran is the everlasting one, founder of Boletaria and protector of the two swords. Of course, only according to legend. But in the dark state of our land, sometimes legends are all we have. King Alant led Boletaria with a round table of the bravest knights. The noble twin Fangs, Valafax and Bior. Alfred, the Tower Knight, Metas, the Penetrator, and the brave tribesman Longbow Ulan and his fearsome legions. But today, Boletaria is an abysmal mess. Valafax was lost, and Bior slipped through the fissure, never to be heard from again. All the rest, along with Boletaria, are either devoured by the fog or fallen afoul of the demons. The Boletarian knights are no longer. But perhaps our age will see the rise of new heroes, such as yourself. But perhaps our age will see the rise of
there we
new
go.
heroes.
Yeah. So I think that sort of explains the two swords. I think the thing he helps you with is acquiring those. So that's, that's his deal. So when I play these games, you don't have to tackle them in order. You can sort of do 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. We've already messed around in a little bit in 4-1. But I tend to just go around the horn, and it seems to work okay. So again, it doesn't look anything like part of Boletaria where we just came from. So again, I find the visuals pretty jaw-dropping. Oops, see, there's one of those things. You got to get those, or else, yeah, you can't try again until you beat the boss or something. It's really, like, I would have to Google, like, how do I do this? And actually, what I do need to do, that's a bunch of hardstone, so that's good. No, I'm not doing that. But you can see why it's so important to get those lizards. They're such a source for upgrade material. But what I need to do is I need to go, A, use those hardstones I got to update the claymore a bit more, and then B, I need to go jump off a ledge so I'm in soul form and not human form, because I don't want to jam up my world tendency toward black if I die. Nope. Okay. I don't know if you're picking, like, the PlayStation 5 has speakers in the controller, and I'm just realizing it's playing sounds through it for some reason. I gotta figure out how to turn that off. I'm not sure if the mic is picking it up. I'm hoping not, but...
I can forge weapons for you for a fair price.
Oh, I need 2 more. Okay. Luckily, the mine that we're heading to is a great place to get some crafting material, so that's good. I think, well, I don't think I have enough for Next soul, yeah, I'm short. Okay, so I need to go jump off a ledge. I know it sounds stupid, but... I don't think that's high enough. This might be high enough. Nope. All right, let's go get our stuff and then move on. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pump points into endurance. We've got enough strength now to carry the shield and the weapon we need, but we can't actually fast roll without taking up a ring slot, and that's not ideal. So let's work on endurance to get our stamina up, which is important, but also our equipment burden. So earlier I was talking about Mithras, so I ended up trying to cobble, so I tend to homebrew a lot of stuff.
Hello there. Souls. I trade fine goods for souls.
He sells shards. That's good to know. So I tried to
You've got to pay.
I tried to figure out a way to bring over some of the sanity system from Delta Green. And it's sort of an interesting thing. You sort of lets you it's meant to be also like, if you see like Cthulhu stuff, but you can use it just to, if you want, you could just use it like if you see tough things to watch, and you can become like an alcoholic, which is like the classic Cold War spy kind of result. But then there's also these interesting mechanics where you can use like family connections. You can sort of burn these connections to alleviate the damage that they do. So you can either take the full brunt of it, or you can rely on your family. But when you rely on your family, that bond gets weaker because they're hurt by it or something. These guys seem to be these guys can be a little tough, but they seem to have some weakness to magic, so that's good. I don't think the rapier would have done much. Not getting much for souls here. Glad to finally have a shield that's 100% physical damage resistance. I gotta start getting used to the backstab sort of window behind the guy. I wonder if these guys just wouldn't bother you at all. There you go. Again, dogs. They're kind of crazy in this, like Dark Souls, they sort of, you can see it sort of made the camera swing pretty wildly. Hey, two can do that. Oh. Interesting. I didn't realize he could take shots at me. Now, the problem is I don't have my ring on that refills my magic points. Because I need that ring to carry... Oh, do I? Let's take a look. See what my roll's like. Oh, it's still pretty quick. Okay, cool. You can sort of start the spell behind the cover and pop out. That's a good technique. So Clearstone, Hardstone is just a straight claymore. Clearstone is if you want it to be a like a balance, like strength dex instead of just strength or something like that. I guess that's called a quality build. Nope. Gonna see the disadvantage now of a slashing weapon. Okay, so I think I'm about to screw this up because I don't remember the trick. Maybe it's the left side. It was, okay. Luckily, it's so nice they put the messages down there. Okay, I think somewhere I missed something. I feel like there's got to be a way to open... I mean, obviously there's a way to open that gate. That's how you proceed. I just don't remember how to do it. Nope. Oh, they're called officials. I kept calling them overseers in other times I'm talking about them. Now, if they've got a bag, I think that means they carry more upgrade materials. So you want to definitely hit the guys with the bags. So I think an edge sharpening stone repairs weapons on the go. Again, he's got a sack, so he's going to have upgrade materials. So again, it's one of those things, like if you know what you want, and there's no reason why you would on the first game playthrough, there's probably plenty of upgrade materials. But if you think about, oh, I want to try the spear, and then no, I want to mess with the claymore. Oh, I'm going to magic build. You know, these games don't... I was going to say they don't reward it. It's not even really possible on some level. So it feels like, you know, you don't get to have the most fun you can with the game until like your second playthrough, which feels like... This is a tough thing, I guess. I don't know what the right answer is, but... And also, I mean, you know, this was their first go, in a way. So, you know, they've smoothed those things out. Like, I think... I can't even remember Dark Souls 2, what it offered. Dark Souls 3, I think you can respec. Bloodborne, maybe. Elden Ring, definitely, very easily. And it just makes those games so much more fun to play. Because what ends up happening is, like... If you want to try something new in this, you got to start over. And that seems like it's pretty punishing. And just, like, sort of dissuades you from wanting to do it. So I think we're getting close to our, potentially our first sort of shortcut. I actually don't. This level always, I get lost in. So you got these fire salamanders you got to worry about. Maybe I can pop them. That one dead? See, I can't hit him. Oh. Okay, I think we're in the clear. Or, I mean, it's, you know, I was going to say, or if you just sort of Google the answer to everything so you know, okay, this, that, not that, this, you know. But it's definitely not open to as much exploration. The other thing I did with the Mithras game is I don't know if it came from Delta Green or Fall of Delta Green. They have this system where you can sort of requisition equipment so you're not like dealing with hardcore numbers. And thought that was interesting. So I was going to try and, you know, because you can sort of incorporate skill checks into requisitions. You don't have to worry about the numbers, but like if something is like expensive, you know, it becomes rare and then you need, you know, a certain kind of skill level, or you gotta, I don't know. I thought it was very interesting, although I don't know if I find the system behind Fall of Delta Green, which I'm Trail of Cthulhu, whatever that. I don't know if I've never played it, so it's not fair to judge it, but the idea of it doesn't instantly grab my attention. I'd be happy to play in a game of it. You know, I know Matt here at Black Lodge Trivia Night, he runs, I can't believe I'm blanking on the system, but you know what I mean, hopefully. And he's run a lot of that and he likes it. So if it ever comes up in the rotation, I'd be happy to give it a shot in a heartbeat. But usually when I'm looking at a system, either something about the the setting. I mean, it could be an adventure, something about the story, but usually if there's something about the setting or there's some interesting thing I want to tool around within the rules, that's what usually grabs me. And Fall of Delta Green, I like the 60s Cold War, but it's not like classic Cold War espionage. It's sort of like, you know, it's more like the Air America CIA running covert flights into Vietnam kind of stuff instead of, at least from what I've skimmed over, instead of like Checkpoint Charlie stuff in Berlin. So, anyway, but it's sort of a fun mental exercise when I homebrew stuff. Oh, here we go. This is going to be bad. Nope, but I got it, so that's good. Did I? I didn't pick it up, though. Okay. I don't even know what spider stone chunk stuff does. So, you can go around. Yeah, so I took there's actually a BSP, basic role playing, BRP, basic role playing system book called Berlin 1961, and it's basically I like a lot of things about the basic role playing system. If there was a way to get around. And they have a supplement called Berlin 1961, which is basically Cold War BRP D100. And then they throw in a little bit like, if you want to run Cthulhu with it, you know, they get it. But it was a good, like, it was a way to give me a bunch of equipment. So I just had a basic equipment list to start from. And then I applied that sort of rarity system from Fall of Delta Green to that. You know, even though that might be one of the first things I'm running, I might need to do more prep for that. I know there's definitely some issues converting it to Foundry version 11. Version 11, so when I do this homebrew, it requires me to do a lot of, like, of my own, like, data entry and folders and organization. And Foundry 11 finally incorporates sort of the ability to create your own compendium folders that you can transfer between modules. But in doing so, it kind of broke the old way to do it. So I got to figure that out. So I got that spinning already, which... So anyway. I'm looking forward to running it, though. I will say that. Like I said, it's a bit of a mental exercise, so there's a chance like it could all fall apart, and I'd be like, whoops, that was a mistake. But I could have sworn there was a way to get around behind... Can you vault over this? I guess not. You know what it is? I think it's behind that. It's going to be interesting to me to see what Black Lodge Trivia Night does. I don't expect it to do much of anything. I know people barely watch any of this, and I don't know how many people are listening to the podcast, but hopefully for those that check it out, it's at least a little bit of fun. What I always liked about him was, people don't always get, like, why do you listen to these things or watch these things? And it's because... the reason why I sometimes do is because I don't always have the ability or the time to check something out properly. And so if you get a good, like, stream, you can sort of almost feel like you're there and getting a chance to experience a little bit. Sometimes, it's a good story. That can be worth it. If I'm, like, following, like, a war game... there's this guy, Enrico, on Board Game Geek. I watched some of his almost start to finish, like Totaler Krieg and World at War, and those things were like, I don't know how long they were, but as someone who's never going to get the chance to play a World at War, I sort of have the experience of what that's like. Is there a way to get down there? Not here. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, the dogs in this one are a lot more spastic than later Souls games. You can see how they like flip the camera around in a group. For me, the tactic with the dog is let it attack. It'll usually bounce. If you got a good shield, it'll bounce off. And then you get a pause to start swinging. That's a pretty classic sort of cheap Souls kind of pop out from behind. I think I'm making pretty decent I mean, I shouldn't say that because that's how you bring on the bad luck, but I feel like we should start getting close to ways to shorten future runs. No, he's got the bag, so it's good that I almost walked right by him. Okay, so what we just did is we, there's an area of lava, I was killing some of those, like, lava lizards earlier in the level. We dropped some water on it, so now we can make our way through it. And that leads to the next area. If I can remember how to get back there. Thought it was past this. Maybe I'm misremembering. Here's the problem. I'm going to get lost and spend the next 20 minutes backtracking the whole level. Okay, that's the room. So it's right up here, I think. Okay, he's going to launch a fireball, but that whole room is explosive barrels, so I'm not looking to get too close until he clears some of that out. There we go. Didn't seem to do much. He hits really hard so you gotta watch out for that. Somehow I got some damage over time going. Not sure what did that, but I'll take it. Got a little greedy there, but luckily I was a little bit faster. Nope. It's actually interesting. You're collecting officials' leg, and there's a part of this game where if you wear the official's outfit, you can disguise yourself and pull something off. I think a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes returns you to human form. So here's the trick. It's not like Elden Ring where you get like a stake of Marika if you die. Here, you gotta hope for the shortcut. And if you don't get it, like, is what I'd like to do is I'd like to go back. Oh goodness, can I send a story? Oh, that's new. In the old game, you're just screwed, I think. Here, I think they get it. Anyway, the point is that, like, what I'd love to do is I'd love to go back. Spend these souls. And then move forward. But I haven't gotten a shortcut yet that I think. Appears to be immobile. Interesting. Okay. Is it this one? Okay. That's the boss. And it just feels like a long run if I screw this up. So did I miss a shortcut? Or do I just try it? That's how these games work. Seems counterintuitive, but you want to get close to this guy. Although I'm not doing much damage, so let me try this again. Oh, shoot, shoot, shoot. Nope, I'm gonna die. Forgot, yeah, when you start spewing oil, you gotta get away from it. You gotta get away fast, because you get stuck in it and you're dead. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna call it there. We made it basically through the level. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like there should be some shortcuts that should have unlocked that didn't. I feel like when you quit out, I don't think it remembers where you are. Like, these things aren't moving yet. Like, nothing's moving yet, so I don't feel like I... Just feels like a very long boss run. Feels like it's longer than it should be, so that's why I'm wondering if I missed something. So let's quit here, and we'll pick this boss run up next time. All right, so yeah, thanks again. We'll see how it goes. Maybe these boss runs are just like, you've at least seen a little bit of Demon Souls, but these boss runs are a bit much. Anyway, thanks again, and take care.